Hi, welcome to Mom Talk. The dads have taken over for this episode. I'm Anthony, Yvette's husband.
I'm Josh, I'm Rebecca's husband.
I'm Mike, I'm Sarah's husband.
I'm Dave, Leslie's husband.
And we're going to be answering a few questions that the moms wanted us to answer. How did you feel or react when you found out you were going to be a father? Mine, pretty simple. I don't know, I'm very simple. She actually woke me up in the middle of the night and shook me. It was like, hey, I took all these tests, showed me like 5 or 6 pregnancy tests or whatnot, and said, it's like, I think I'm pregnant. I just looked at her, I'm like, right on. And then right on. But I was like, okay, I guess it's about that time. That was it. Simple for me, I guess.
Good.
What about y'all?
I was more, mine was kind of funny. My wife and I, it was about 2 or 3 weeks after we had gotten married, and the night of our marriage we said, we'll try and we'll see what happens. And she did the little test about a week after, and it said negative. So we said, well, we'll just do this and do that for the next year, and then maybe next year we'll try again. Then 2 weeks later, she said, hey, I need to talk to you. I'm like, oh, hey,
That's never a good
we
story.
already made plans. So she said, we're pregnant. I'm like, oh, okay, good, that's cool. She said, are you mad? I'm like, no.
I don't know whether
That's all,
are you mad we're pregnant? It's like,
Yeah,
there's
like-
2 of us involved.
Yeah, I think we kind of called it out anyway,
Right.
you know what I'm saying? So yeah, that was mine, man. I was cool with it.
Yeah, ours was planned. Planned marriage, planned pregnancy. Just stuck
Military
at it.
style.
Stuck at it until, lots of practice, stuck at it until it happened. And then, 2 weeks after our 1-year anniversary, she had Madison, our youngest. So, yeah, man, it was exciting. For me, the excitement was more finding out what we were having versus,
Oh yeah.
oh, I'm pregnant. 'Cause
Right.
I knew, all right, that was our goal to get pregnant, but boy or girl. So we got a good mix at it. We got 2 girls and a boy. And that was the excitement, sitting down in a nice restaurant and getting we had a doctor put what we were having in an envelope and opened it together. So she didn't know, I didn't know. We found out together. So it was pretty cool. I think that was, for me, that was the more exciting part. Not necessarily, hey, let's have a baby or I'm having a baby.
Right.
That's the goal.
I think part 1 is done.
Right? It's like, accomplished.
That was me. Yeah, it's cool. It was a good time.
Good time.
It was good times.
Ours was definitely not planned
Yeah.
or expected. It was kind of more of a surprise. So, she has 4 kids of her own. I had 2 of my own, and I would never expecting to have another child. We already had the Brady Bunch going.
Yeah.
But she called me, or actually she waited till I came home from work and told me, and I just, to be honest with you, I don't remember how I reacted. It was more of, I think I was, oh, okay, and I went on about my business, and then it sunk in and we're like, whoa, wait a minute.
After a while.
It's like,
So you mean-
wait.
More than one hand
It's
now?
like, oh, I gotta use all of them now.
And then I was nervous. I mean, I was excited, but I was nervous. I was like, oh man, we didn't plan for this.
We're gonna live in a shoe now. Or what?
I think it's size 14.
We just didn't plan for it, and it was just like, oh man. So then we just went into just getting everything we need mode. Just, and we had plenty of time. It was still early in the pregnancy, but it was just a total surprise.
Yeah.
And we just went through the pregnancy, and it was to me the most exciting part was when he was born. That's when it actually really set in real time, was when he was born.
Yeah.
And then he looked identical to me, and it was even scarier. So
Yeah, definitely.
But that was it. Just took me a little bit for it to actually set in. Like, oh, wait a minute.
Yeah. So we got different stories here.
Yeah, I can kind of relate. I was previously married, and that one was total shock and all, you know, so, and for Leslie and I, we blended families as well, and, my first experience, my first wife and all that was complete unexpected, total shock, trying to, you know, do what was right, get married. I have a beautiful daughter to thank for it, but didn't work out. And years later, you know, met Leslie, and we were actually introduced because we're both single parents, and it just grew from there. And that's why for our daughter, you know, the excitement was, all right, you know, what do we have? So totally hearing what you're saying on that. But actually, I mean, it was the excitement of like, yeah, I'm having a girl, but then with my lifestyle and all that, you know, it's actually, we've been together 8 years now, and it's taken all 8 years to like even realize, you know, at times like, damn, I'm a dad. Oof, I gotta do this, you know, like I gotta slow down, and that relationship grows every day, you know, for me.
It's funny, as you get older, the more you change on the way you perceive things and the way you think about things. And, you know, it's like when you're younger, you're like, man, I'm never going to be that way. And then as you get older, you're looking down at younger kids going, what are you doing, man? That's stupid.
It is. I'll be 35 this year, but it's crazy thinking I've been a dad for 12 years. You know, it's like, oof. I have no business at 21 years old having a daughter, and you learn, and you learn life's not about you anymore; it's about your family.
Yeah.
You know,
Feels better though.
that's a balance.
Yeah.
That's a true balance. But it does feel better.
Way better. Way
Yeah,
better.
I had to get adjusted to it when, you know, it was just me and Yvette. We were just dating, not really planning on anything, just having fun, whatnot, living together. And that's, you know, our first Desiree, that was complete, had no idea, not planned or anything like that. And,
Said
you know,
right on.
I was just right on, you know, whatever, just, it wasn't nothing, all right, whatever, you know, but, and then have the, you know, Desiree came and everything, it was pretty good shock, because I wasn't used to, you know, I had my PlayStation, I've got, you know, stuff I like to do, like go to the bars, like doing stuff for me, and then all of a sudden, I got a kid, I've got to, you know, I got to man up, I've got to start taking care of this child and start putting my money towards them and think about school and all that. And yeah, it's definitely, it just wakes you up. It's like, I'm just blowing money, dropping whole $100 bills a night at the bar. And now I'm like, I'm going to go to the liquor store and buy a bottle for less.
Make it last.
But it's just, it does change how you are and
Yeah.
perceive what you should be doing, what you shouldn't be doing.
Definitely, man. Yeah, it's so much more planning now.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if this is going to cover one of those questions, but man, planning everything you want to do. My wife and I just came back from California for a while, and just planning out everything you want to do from the time you step out that door. You can't just go out there and be like, oh, let's go here. Okay, well, let's go.
Right.
You know, you go, all right, we're going to drop off the midget at, you know, before we go over there. You know.
And then you gotta pack about 30 minutes ahead.
Oh,
before you know everything you need.
And then you're always asking each other, once you get out the door, hey, you got this, you got that? Well, I don't remember.
Drive off, turn around, go on the block, come back.
Yeah, we're still in that stage, man.
Oh man, yeah, going on trips, I'm so used to what I'm wearing, okay, an extra shirt maybe, but yeah, no, now it's like suitcases, load them up,
Yeah.
4 of everything, where's the checklist?
Exactly, man. Hell yeah.
I'm definitely the drifter when it comes to the house.
Yeah.
Leslie's structure, kids they have to be on track, you know, and yeah. Trips.
I got that right, babe.
You got this.
Like I've actually, you know, where our kids are the age they are, our 4-year-old, she's off the hook, and it's great if you can channel all that energy, you know, the
Yeah.
8-year-old and the 4-year-old. If we can get them where they're comfortable, and then we can enjoy the day. Otherwise, it's just
Chaos.
might as well just hang out at home.
Go on a road trip with them when they're that young. It
Yeah.
reminds me of No, I love my kids to death. Don't mean anything about it, but it reminds me of like Dumb and Dumber when they do the most annoying voice in the world.
Yeah.
You're just sitting there just trying to.
It's like,
Yeah, I mean, 2 years ago when we transferred here, I did 2,600 miles with both the kids in the Suburban with me.
Oh.
Towing my camp trailer, the dog in the back of the Suburban, and then my wife and her Jeep with a little trailer. You know, we drove all the way down here, and I had the kids the whole way. Man, I hear you.
Yeah.
Like,
He's like his right hand
Man.
I wish we would have just shipped it all and stuck them in the very back seat of the Suburban. At least we'd have that distance.
right? It's like, oh, I'm sorry, can you hear? Hey, let me turn the radio up for you.
It's like,
A lot of those movies like the family,
The Griswold.
Griswold Family Vacation, a lot of that's true. That's what makes it so funny.
Yeah, it's all true, yeah.
so what's number 2? How many questions?
No,
You gotta live.
I actually don't think we covered any of the questions. Number 2, what was it like for you when your wife was pregnant? I honestly cannot remember too much. I think I blocked most of it out.
It was that bad.
It was
I
pretty.
repressed everything.
I repressed. It's all, you know, because she of course had the mood swings, very hormonal. So I just remember we'll get through it. 9 months. It's gonna pass. Just wait for it to pass by. But I just help her as much as possible. I know she's going through gaining the weight, having to balance and everything, and it's just real hard for her. So just try to help and try to keep a straight mind or a clear mind, and just not get too aggravated because she can't control it. But no, honestly, I think I blocked most of it out. So
Ours was chaotic. I mean, it was more of a, she did well as in handling it. I mean, she's moody just like any woman is when they're pregnant, but she had medical complications that made the pregnancy tough. So it was back and forth to the hospital all the time, to the doctor all the time. And in the last 2 weeks of the pregnancy, she spent in the hospital before the baby was even born. And she was basically camped out in the hospital room the whole time.
Oh no.
It was tough. It was a tough pregnancy. It was challenging. I give it that. But it was well worth it. It was. You look back on some of the stuff and you laugh at it now.
Oh yeah.
Now that you're years down the road.
Yeah, mine was. I had all the sympathy pains, man. I had all the nausea, and she was unfortunately she was nauseous like throughout the whole pregnancy. So I think whatever she felt, God made me feel it. So I know this is your first kid, son, but you're gonna feel everything, type of deal. And man, it was wonderful, man. I think we had a really good pregnancy. I think the reason why I remember mostly everything is because every day was different. You couldn't just wake up one day and expect the same stuff over and over again, like you see in movies. People live their lives, do this, do that, same structure, everything. It was like very first thing in the morning. Hey baby, how you feeling? What's good about the morning, huh? Is that a good morning? I'm like, oh my God.
I've been up all night moving, and you were just
That's the
sleeping.
hormones right there. That's the hormone. I'm gonna let that slide. That's the hormone imbalance talking right there. But yeah, I mean, it was really cool, man. It was really cool to videotape the baby. About 8-9 months into the pregnancy, watching a little alien hand come up through her belly and all that stuff. It was real neat. I mean, one night we were videotaping her belly. We were watching some scary movie, and she's like, she doesn't like to watch scary movies. What she'll do is she'll hide under the sheets, and she'll put over her, she said, I'll just listen. So she covers her eyes, right, while I watch the movie, and I started videotaping her belly, and it just so happened that right when Anthony's hand came through the belly, the scary part came on the movie. It just looked like a little alien moving through. Like, oh shit! I actually hopped out the bed and ran out of the room. She said, "What about being able to anger everybody with themselves?" But yeah, man, it was all together, man. It was great, man. I had a great time. I hope that the second pregnancy is just as fun.
Yeah, we didn't change much of our routine. I'm in the military, active duty, and I was going through a lot of tough stuff with my job. So trying to manage that with home life was pretty difficult. I put a lot of stress on her. I think you do that in general being in the military. I got two thumbs up to military spouses for all the stuff they put up with.
Oh, yeah.
Because oftentimes they're alone with it, and so I just, we had a new home we were moving into, all the remodeling, all the yard work. Unfortunately, I wasn't there as much as I should have been. I was just always doing something with the home and with work, but I definitely, when we were at the hospital going through that, that's when it hit.
Yeah.
And it was good. And then Leslie, she was working all the way up until it was time to have the baby. So she's just always been that way. And we had a lot of fun. It was really stressful, but in the end, sitting in that delivery room, that's where it was at.
Mm-hmm.
And it was awesome. And then after that, it was really cool because she was able to take time off, which so to be able to watch her, and the joys of being a mom and having the baby and all that. That was cool. It was humbling, and it was neat because it was all planned. But definitely, if I could do it all over again, I wish I would have did what you guys did.
Well, my wife
But-
worked the whole time too. I think she worked up until the night that we had to stay in the hospital. She worked.
Yeah.
Almost, yeah. Yeah, we had to stay overnight the night before the pregnancy because she was going to get induced about 4 days before his due date.
Yeah.
I said, "You don't want to wait anymore?" She said, "Hell no." So, and the funniest thing, man, was when she said, "I'm gonna have this baby natural." She's itty bitty, she weighs like 112 pounds now. She's like 5'5". I said, "All right, baby, that's your body." She said, "My mom can do it, I can do it." Okay, do what you want. And then she was sitting in the bed for a while, and then they had to break her water for her. And once they did that, man, that was it. "You did this to me." Oh, it hurts so bad. Give me the medication. I laughed under my breath. I didn't want her to stab me or anything.
Sit up and head start spinning.
Yeah. As long as you don't puke on me.
Right.
But yeah, as far as military, man, my dad was in the Air Force for 20 years, and we moved around due to his career, and my mom had to raise 5 kids, and it was tough, man. She had to put up a lot with us because there was 4 boys and 1 girl, so we gave her hell almost every day, but yeah, definitely. I can see where you come from. It's gotta be hard. Gotta be hard.
Well, actually, you were already mentioned about the going through labor and delivery. I think that's number 3. What was it like to be in the room as your wife went through labor and delivery of your child? Oh man, like mine, we were actually natural. You have the music and everything and practicing. We actually went to that and we were really stoked about it.
Yeah, I actually had a lot of fun with that.
Yeah, it was really fun. Yeah,
It was cool. It was like, this is very, very nervous the whole time. Like, wow.
Yeah. Do the breathing and.
It was awesome.
Yeah. No, we went through all that and it was just like, okay, sure, go for it. All natural. I mean, my mom had all of us natural. Everyone's mom's baby, but so we were planning on it, but then now that I'm starting to remember, it's starting to come back somewhere. We had complications actually. We just had the baby shower. Got home, dropped off the gifts at the apartment, and all of a sudden she goes up to the bathroom and then comes out like, "I think my water just broke."
Oh.
And luckily she was, on the toilet, so it was like, "Oh, I don't have to clean anything up." But it was like, okay, well, let's go to the hospital. And we get there, and sure enough, her water's broke, but she's you know, she's going into labor. It's like, okay, but she's not fully, and I think she was 4 centimeters
Oh,
or
yeah.
something. So
I think
she's
it's like 10, right? You gotta
yeah,
cut
something
10
like that,
or
right?
something like that.
Big enough for a
It's
baby.
painful.
Yeah,
Sure.
It
I
looks
can't even
painful, dude.
imagine. She's like, I wish you could go through it. I'm like, why would you want to wish that on me? But that's pretty good stuff. So no, we get there to the hospital and trying to do it natural, but they're just saying the water already broke. We don't have so much time. We're going to have to induce or go to C-section if you don't have this baby. So we're literally walking around the hospital trying to get her to go, but wasn't happening. So I had to give her the medicine. We had to go to C-section, and I remember I was there. She had the whole blanket, so you can't see her. So I'm right there with her. It's like, it's okay. She can't feel anything, whatnot. And then, you know, it was nasty because I looked over the curtain. I wanted to see what they're doing, and all I see is this giant ball thing. They pulled it out of her. Like, I'm like, oh my god, that is disgusting.
Right on.
I'm just like, it's okay, you're good, you're good. It's just, they've got, I can see the insides and everything. That's a little much for me. So, yeah, that was intense, I have to say. Unique.
First one was the C-section for us, and then with Leslie it was natural, but I remember curiosities.
Mhm.
First one I was too freaked out,
Yeah.
like, I don't know, borderline passing out. You know, we don't need to describe what goes on in the C-section.
Oh.
It's intense.
Yeah.
It's your horror story.
Oh,
Now, with Leslie and the natural, I don't know what happened, but like we get there and then all of a sudden I just like hot sweats and then like almost like a 24-hour flu, but I was out on the couch. She's literally like waking me up, oh my god, it's time. And she's screaming at me. And I finally come to, and I was like, whack, you know, it was on, like. But I was like, seriously, like, I don't know what happened. Like, I went into a coma when we got into that room and she laid down, and I'm like, I was out just sweating and felt sick, and I don't know, maybe my body, I don't know. It was baptismal in there. I don't know. She was screaming at me and calling the nurses, and I woke up to all this craziness going on, and I'm just like, holy crap, and stood up and was standing there, you know, doing whatever we can do to be comforting, which is nothing.
No, absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
And then I looked, and it was like, seeing the head come out, that was
different.
That was very unique, and then you know, hearing my wife freaking out and pushing and everything, and then to have Addison come out, and you know, next thing you know, you're looking at your kid. It's amazing. Just overwhelming, just peace
Yeah.
that happens after such a traumatic like experience. You know, this, for me, was just holy crap, it's happening. You know, this is real, and she's in intense pain even after the pill, the spinal fluid, spinal tap, epidural, everything they got going on with them. They're still in just intense pain, and then for it to all just be peaceful and quiet, and you get to hold your baby.
Yeah.
After the doctors give them back.
Right.
Yeah.
It shows like, look, okay.
And then like getting to cut the cord and everything like that. And that was amazing.
Yeah.
It's something you'll never. I mean, I'm just glad I was able to experience it. Being able to be there.
I remember when mine was in the hospital, she had to have her makeup on.
Said I look good.
I'm gonna look good while this
She had her both been sweating off, but
And we had a friend, our pastor, his wife, she let her in there to kind of film it. So she had to have her makeup on, and she had to look good for the camera.
That's awesome.
As best she could, anyway, going through what she was going through. She had her epidural, and it was actually fairly quick, and she hurt, but she wasn't yelling and screaming like it was like I was expecting. And but I was all in there. I was hanging on her hand. You all right? And of course that irritated her,
Oh,
Does it look like I'm okay? And then I was over there with the doctor. Do I need to help you?
I want to be useful.
Where's the doctor? Hey, move. This is my life.
And you feel kind of out of place in there. It's not.
Yeah.
You're just like, what do I do? You know, 'cause
Yeah.
you try to comfort, it doesn't work. The doctor's doing something, so do I need to help you? What's going on? And the nurses, they were good. They saw me and said, hey, grab her leg and hold it. So I'm here holding her leg. You got it, baby. You know? Well, we can do that. We can do it. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, just
Like, you got this.
What do you tell them?
Yeah.
M-O-M, mom, go.
And it's, you catch yourself doing the Lamaze too. You're in there going, you don't realize you're doing it. You're like, what am I doing? I'm not doing it.
Exactly right.
See, we were like, when I can't remember how long she was pushing for, but we were actually, the cool thing was is her whole family's Irish, and it was St. Patrick's Day.
Oh wow.
So we blew by it though. Addison had to come out an hour and 5 minutes later after. We were pushing for a St. Patrick's Day baby. I mean, I was, really hoping it would, it would happen within St. Patrick's Day, but we missed it by an hour and 5 minutes, and it's funny how it all comes back. But
That's
I started thinking it was
born
born
at 105.
yeah, 105. So I was like, when you start thinking about things. That part was crazy when you were saying push in, and it's like, we're watching our clocks and texting family, and they're all getting loaded. And I'm in the delivery room, with my wife and everybody else having a good time. I mean, so were we. I mean, I was, she wasn't.
Yeah.
But you feel kind of lost because you just,
Yeah.
you want to be there, but then you're trying to inform everybody too what's going on. So then you're running back and forth, in and out of the room. And then when it actually starts going down, then I gotta let them know.
Real, right?
You gotta let them know, then you come back in, and you're just like,
Hey, it's on.
It's on, it's on. Do you hear this? Do you hear this? It's going down.
It is going.
And then when they take the baby, then you're just like,
Hey,
Where are you going? Where are you going?
you're like, it's like Papa Bear over there. What are you doing? What's going on with it?
I was
Very protected.
I did that. I had the camera, and I was there. I'm like, so what are you doing? And I was asking them, it's like, is that okay? What's going on there? And I was literally right there, like I don't even know if I was filming it right.
Do you really have to hold him that hard?
It's like, are you holding her? Is she okay, or what's?
Yeah, definitely, man. My experience the night before, I was raised in New Orleans, so mine was great because they had a Saints game on that night, So I'm there. Sarah's in bed, chilling before they gave her before they broke her water for her. Telling her, I said, "Baby, okay? Yeah, okay, good."
Back to
Watching
the
the game, right? And then all of a sudden, the Saints scored the first touchdown in the game, and she goes, "Oh, Anthony kicked him." Like, hey, it's the Saints fan right there. Yeah. So later on that night, everything started going down. About 12 something in the afternoon the next day was when they said, hey, she's about 10 centimeters. We're gonna go ahead and start getting her to push. So once they gave her the epidural, man, she was good. She kind of squirmed a little bit, and the doctor got mad at her. Don't move. And she's a softie, so she almost wanted to cry.
Did you watch the epidural?
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's horrible watching.
But that is a huge.
That was a
needle,
big
man.
needle.
I'm sorry, watching it going,
I was just like, ow, ow.
you feel that?
I was so surprised. I was
While
like,
they're having their contractions.
Yeah.
oh my god, dude.
It's like,
That was-
what else can you do to make that hurt worse?
Yeah, and then whenever she started pushing, it was, the doctor was here in the center, her mom was right here, I'm on the other side. They had no cover, So they had those little footsteps, she put her feet on,
Stirrups.
Yeah. So they had her there, and she's pushing along. And the doctor said, "Okay, starting to crown." So she said, "Do you want to look?" And I'm here on the left side. I'm like, "No, I'm good right here. I'm all right." She said, "No, look." And then her mom reaches. To me, it's so intimate. It's weird, because her mom goes, she's petting the head, like it's a puppy or something. I'm like, "What are you doing?" She said, "Just want to touch the head." I'm like, "Oh my god, that's gross."
Like, when it comes out,
Yeah, and then the doctor said, "Come on, don't be such a puss. Just go." He told me that the doctor's a female, you know. So he said, "Don't be such a puss. Just look." So I looked. I said, "Oh, his head's not that big." And the doctor smiled. And I knew something was wrong, right? Only about this much of the head was coming out, so I knew more head was gonna come out. I didn't realize it was gonna go from here to like here. You know, as more head came out, I was just, my eyes got bigger and bigger. I was like, man, I don't know what to do with that. You know, like, oh my god. Then his face came out and it just looked, you know, it looks weird because you just got like gunk on him all still, but at the same time you see the facial features.
Got the cone head.
And and everything just starts to calm down right when, for me, right when I started seeing the facial features, man, everything started to just chill out. Everything else started to zoom out. I zoned in, you know, and right when they got their shoulders out, it was amazing. They just
come right
scooped them right through. And then when they gave him his first bath, I was right there in the room. Everybody else was outside the little glass taking pictures and stuff. And while he was, we have a picture of him while he was getting his bath. He looks right at me. It's a picture of me looking at him. He's looking right in my eyes. He's holding my finger. He got like this. They said babies don't smile, you know, but the nurse said he had a little smile on his face. I was like, hey, you know who your daddy is. Remember that when you're 13. So yeah, all together, man, it was amazing.
Yeah.
It was really, really amazing.
That's it. We're on. Yeah. How did you feel when you held your child for the first time? Like, I have to agree, it was just peace, and it was just amazing. You know, when the baby first came out, I heard the first scream. When she screamed for the first time, it was just like overwhelmed happiness.
Yeah.
It was just like, that's so awesome.
Mm.
And went over there and just held her, and it was just like I was complete. Like, that was perfect right there. Like, I'm good. Nothing else really mattered. That was awesome right there. Just holding her. Tiny little thing. She was petite. I don't know about the A big, you know, just a little thing, but that was really cool.
Yeah, man, definitely.
It's like everything just goes away. It's
Yeah.
just you and the baby at the moment.
Yeah, all that you just went through, all that, you know, pain. And,
Even when it's quiet in the room, you hear the AC fans going, you don't even hear the AC fans.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's just dead silent.
Then you realize you gotta give the baby your
Yeah,
wife.
I know. And then you hold him like a Heisman.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was gonna say. The nurse come and try to get you.
Just everything around you disappears.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's neat. It's like what's that movie where they were chasing hurricanes and they got
Tornado.
right in the middle
Yeah.
of the storm, or right in the middle of a hurricane. And then once they got in the center, everything was calm and quiet. They
Yeah.
see the sky, you know?
Yeah.
It's kind of like that.
You hear little birds chirping in the background.
Yeah, man, crazy. It was truly amazing at how peaceful and quiet it could be.
yeah,
Yeah,
just can't explain it better than that. I think.
Then they grow up.
And only lasts for so long.
Then the hurricane starts to come back.
They learn to say no, and you're like, oh. Now my son's at the mimicking stage. You know, the other day he was acting up. I told him, hey, go clean your room. He's 2 years old. You know, and he says no. I said, you want me to spank you? And I never do, but I always say try to scare him. It doesn't kick in yet though. But and he says, you want me to spank you? I had to turn away and laugh. You know. Hilarious, man.
Let's see. What does fatherhood mean to you, or what kind of father do you want to be for your children?
That's a good one.
That's
That was a good one.
Hey, just for me, you know, my father taught me how to survive, and for what he did for me, he gave me everything that I live for today. Unfortunately, he's in prison, and I have a lot to take away from the time that I was able to spend with him before he went. And it wasn't until we moved here 2 years ago. So Austin would have been 5, 6 years old. Addison was 2. You know, my oldest daughter Mackenzie, she's 9, 10, that age. It wasn't until we moved away from our security blanket, the family and the friends that we had for 9+ years. Even with Leslie and I meeting up there, we still had the same friends and family and all that network. But when we moved away from all that, that's when, you know, I'm not saying that's when it settled, like that's when I realized I was a dad, but what I've been able to develop with my kids here, where it's just mom and dad, really has challenged me to be, you know, what I saw in my dad while we were still able to spend the time that we were together, and that's, you know, just being a role model. If you make a mistake, actually owning up to it in front of your family, you know, not being afraid to be humble and, you know, acknowledge your mistake and say it in front of your family. There's a lot of value to that. As the kids get older, they see, I think, they see that, you know, because ultimately that's what we are. We're the role model. We got to get them ready for life. And, you know, the loving moments and all that I've been able to share with my kids with no distractions from outside family, and, you know, really it all being truly just Leslie and I. It's definitely grown more, you know, to where I've been able to do that. And you also learn that life isn't always about what you want. And as a dad, like I said, at 21, was what I wanted. I didn't have, you know, I'm glad I had my daughter, or we had our daughter, but totally, like, at 30, I'm going to be 35 this year, and this is when I feel, this is like, yeah, right on, you know? Yeah. I mean, I made the choice because we have our 3 kids. I'm done having kids medically. Had that taken care of, and but like seriously, you realize, you know, Leslie was at work yesterday, and I went and worked out, and I grabbed the kids and we jumped in the pool at the club. You know, I swam with them for a half hour, 45 minutes. Let them, you know, we did our thing, played, and that's what it comes down to, man. Like,
Have a little bit of you time.
yeah, you know, a little bit of you time, but then bam,
Bang,
you
right
know,
back to, yeah.
it's reality. You've got to spend it with your kids.
Yeah.
But everybody has to have their own time. No matter how much it is, even if it's just a 10-minute,
Yeah.
go somewhere and just sit in a dark room for me. Get away from me. You know? And it's, everybody gotta have their own time.
Yeah.
And that's the biggest thing, especially the more children that you
Yeah.
have, the more things go. You know, even more children you have, it's just the older they get, the more chaotic things get, the more you have. Every once in a while you just gotta go, okay, you know. It's like a, you know, just sit there and go, woosah. Sit down. Rub my ears and calm down for a minute and then go back at it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I was raised by my grandfather. My dad passed away when I was 5 years old.
Yeah.
So everything I learned was from my grandfather. And he showed me, he taught me the old fashioned way. I mean, it was yes sir, no sir, yes ma'am, no ma'am, and everything. I mean, it was by the book to him. And a lot of it was good, but a lot of it I didn't believe was right. So a lot of it as a father is what you perceive you want your children to grow up as. I mean, and we all want them to be the best that they can be, but it's how you get them there.
Yeah.
And that's the challenge. That's what, because every day I find myself changing.
Yeah.
My perception on things are different, like we were saying earlier. And it's just, you just got to conform to the way it is, you know, and try to keep up with the way the world's going.
Yeah.
To try to adapt to how you're going to combat whatever's going on at that point in time.